What's going on, y'all? Um, you know, life, life will teach you. Life will teach you. You know how the older people used to say, it's the old saying, but it still stands to this day. You hear a lot of still repeating it, even to this day. If you don't understand now, just keep on living. Just keep living. I really didn't even know anything about really. I don't know if I should say. I don't know if it's. I want to give the true meaning though about serving God. Sometimes you can think that you fully know what serving God is, going and sitting in a pew on a bench in a building that was built by man's hand, right? Constructors who builds temples and things. They build brick buildings and they put a sanctity or sanctification on it and call it the house of God. It becomes a religious organization. My mother used to tell me, my mom used to, like, she was always one of them wise people. She was a, I think when she was younger, I believe she always had an old soul. She was young and I think she always had I don't care how young she, ever since I known her, ever since I came out the womb and I know who she was. She said that it didn't, I used to ask her all the time. I used to say, when the Most High God started dealing with you, when you really fully gave your life to God, what age was you when you really truly dedicated yourself? I think she said about early 30s, she started to like become, if she came in contact with that conscious person of discernments and things. She would talk about discernments and all that. Another word for discernment is picking up vibes. I think she have always have been. She was born with a. She was just born with something we didn't. I didn't understand it. My brothers probably we didn't, and sisters didn't understand it. You know, when you're young and you're trying to live a certain life out there in the world and things of that nature, and when you would go out and when we would mingle with people, she would always, who is that? Who is that? That's a friend of mine's, mom. When she would say things like, you better watch them, we would be looking at her like we was crazy. What? Because you know how we was back in the day. We didn't want to give the people that we hung around, the people that we really loved, we didn't want to give them the benefit of the doubt. And it would piss us off and make us mad that our mother would come in, our parents, whether it be a mother or father, would step in and tell you that the person that you is with, that you feel like that's your friend, I guarantee you, our parent, well, we didn't have father, but we come from a single parent household. She would always would tell us, you gonna see son, you see that woman, or you see that girl, or you see that man, or you see that person, you better be. I'm not telling you to separate from her. I'm not telling you to act funny with her. This is the words of my mother. I'm not. You still treat them nice. And what's the old word? Feed them with a long handled spoon. She would always use that word. I'm just telling you to be wise. That person, she would just come out and tell us. It's just something about their spirit. It ain't clicking. And when she would say things like, when we hung out with our, me, I would always hang out because I was always like a people's person. I loved it to hang around people because I was trying, you know how you be trying to, like, you want to be cool with everybody you come in contact with. I mean, you want to be good. You want to be chill with everybody that you come in contact with. You want to be chill with them. You want to hang out because you like them and stuff like that. You deeply, you like them as friends. You want to hang out with them, and then you feel like your parents coming and they throwing that up and that. Well, mommy, well, you just don't want me to have friends. You always saying everybody I get, everybody I get. But back then we didn't understand. You know, when you're young, most of the time when you're a little younger in your teens and stuff, you ain't trying to see that. You know what I mean? And as a teenager, you looking at what she's saying is bullshit. Really, you is. My mother, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Some of y'all might get mad with me. Some of y'all might put rude comments under my video. But hey, it is what it is. I don't give a damn. My mother used to tell me all the time, especially people in the religious organization and churches and stuff. Son, it's something about that so and so woman ain't no good. It's just something about them ain't all the way right. I'm not saying that they may not be right, but it's just something when they come around here, they can't look at me straight. And we sitting up there like, what the fuck? I'm trying to have me some friends. I can't even have you coming out with this negative stuff and you saying this about these people here. Because you know how we are. We don't want to give our friends the benefit of the doubt. You already know that. We don't want to give the people that we get attached to. And then you feel like, man, my mama coming along here and talking this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You know how we is. And you just don't want to believe what your parents say, but it's like they can see further than you. Is I put it in that term. But sometimes when you're young, you ain't trying to see all of that. You ain't trying to hear that. You can even get mad with your parents. Sometimes we be tempted to cuss them out sometimes. You just don't want me with no friend. You just don't want me to have about. You just don't want me to so and so. Something told me to talk about this tonight because I'm comparing this situation with my mother having a stroke. She's in the room, other room over there. I'm in here. She's asleep right now. But I'm there 24/7 because she was in a healthcare facility. I'm gonna get back to the topic. She was in a healthcare facility. First, she was in the hospital. The people in the hospital at so-called North Oaks here in Hammond, Louisiana, is dirty, low down. They dirty and low down in there. They ain't worth a damn. And they really, it's demonic in there. And I would be getting mad with them, the people that worked in there, because I felt that my mother was being neglected. So I'm trying to tie all this in together what I'm talking about. Um, when you look at when I was looking at what my mother was saying, and I said, "Oh Lord, here she go with this." You know, in our mind, oh, here she go with this bullshit talking about so and so ain't no good. We can't never have friends. Everybody that we come across, she always saying this bullshit. She always saying this. But we just was young and ignorant and didn't know. She would say, son, you better be wise about people. Now I think about my mama's situation right now. Everybody that told me, baby, take care of your mama now. Those same people tell you certain things what to do, but they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't bring your mother a glass of water. My mother used to say it like this. We didn't understand. I used to be religious. I was very religious. I was in the church and things of that nature. I was going to a church, Seventh Day Adventist, Seventh Day. Yes, I was in the Seventh Day Adventist church, and my mom would say, "Okay, you keep going, or you can't put your confidence in nobody, no people, and this and that and the third." And I'm sitting up there like, being young, we didn't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, we looking around like, what the hell is, like, what the fuck is she? You know what I'm saying? You know how we look. What the fuck is she talking about? And we would sit up there and like, well, mama, you don't know what you're talking about. You sit up there, you don't even know that person. You sitting up there just already coming out with something, but that was stupid on us. My mother would say, look, son, they might be all right. I'm just saying, be careful because the spirit, what I gather from the situation, I can't judge, pinpoint, and say that's what they doing, but I got a vibe from them. I picked up in my spirit. It's just something ain't all the way right. They can't even look at me straight. Now I don't know what it is. I can be wrong. And we sitting up there, oh, what the hell is she talking about now? She coming out with this bull BS and stuff like that. And we would get mad with her, and we didn't want to hear what she had to say. She said, "Okay, I ain't gonna tell you nothing no more. If you feel that they whatever it is, you go ahead on. I ain't gonna stop you. But if something go down, you gonna say your mother, you gonna say your mama, your mother said that." Like, what is she saying? And we'll get more mad. You know what I'm saying? You always coming up saying stuff. You don't want me to have friends and this and that. She said, I ain't gonna say no more. You just go ahead on. And if you think it's right, then you go ahead on. I'm done with it. I done told you. Did we listen? No. When you start experiencing life and them problems go to setting in, and all them people that you thought or that you think is your friend, the ones that you be on the phone with all the time, and you thought your son or your people was being disrespectful, go and come again because life will teach your ass. Sweet shit from honey and water. That's what the older people used to say. And when it happened, you go out there and my mother would say it like this. I noticed that y'all, people can't use me, but they try to use me through my kids. And she said, I want you to remember one thing. If something go down, don't try to say your mama didn't tell you. We would come back maybe months later, maybe years later, and like, mama, you know what? I see what you mean about that individual person. She would look at me and she said, I tried to tell you that. I already know it. I knew you wasn't going to listen. You cussed me out. You thought I was wrong for what I was saying. I told you that. The Spirit told me that. The Spirit had already revealed it to me. But you just would, I told you that, son. And we was hurt and shamed to admit it. My mother would tell me stuff like this. Saying, you in the church like that. And my mother said, baby, it's just something that her spirit ain't right. Her spirit is not genuine. And in my mind, I'm like, how do you know that? You don't even know that person. And then she would be like, well, you don't know him neither. You don't know nothing about them people. So how you gonna sit up there and try to tell me what I don't know what I'm talking about? She would say things, my mother would say something like, baby, look, when you got the Holy Ghost, it will it will pick up anything nailed down to the ground. Anything, care what it is. You can't fool me. And she would say things like, "That's why they ain't getting out their car. They ain't coming up. They drop you off, but they can't look at me straight. They hair up and drop you off and pull off because they don't want to have no contact with me because they know I know their ass." Me being a young person and being the person that I am, I'm still trying to sit there and give these people the benefit of the doubt. Little do I know I was losing, but she was winning. They always say a mother can see past what you don't see. A father can see past what you don't see. They can see stuff you can't even pick up and you can't even see. And my mother would be like, well, they just trying to make like they're your friend because they trying to polish you up by buying all these things for you to keep things hush hush. She would say, they ain't fooling me though. I know them. That's why they ain't coming around. That's why they ain't getting out they car and coming in this house and they're talking. Because they know they ain't right. They know I'll see through them real quick. And they'll hear them get the hell away from around me. And we sitting up there like, why is she saying all this here? She don't even want us to have friends. She don't want us to enjoy ourselves. Because everybody that comes around, she run away or either we don't. It's like it, I can't even be happy with nobody. She saying this and that, but see, we didn't get it. And she would say things like, "Well, I tell you what, just keep on living, keep on." And she said, "You gonna see what your mama trying to tell you, just like that." So recently, when you start experiencing life and trials and tribulation, her being in this position that she's in now, it ain't very many people gonna come to your aid and be loyal to you. They're not going to be loyal. They're not going to come to your aid and reach out to you and help you in ways that you need help. Most people are not. Most people in this world, and some people are going to say, well, it's not that they don't want to help or nothing like that. It's just that some people want to help. That's how they're going to come along and manipulate. It's not that they don't want to help. Some people are just unable to come and help and do certain things. Everybody, you want to help, I want to help, but I know I can't do it and stuff. That's bullshit. You can't use that manipulation on me. Well, I would have did it, but I didn't have the resources and I didn't have this and that and the third. What they doing, they trying to manipulate the truth. That's what they do. They sit up and they try to finesse the truth. You know how people do. They use their damn convincing ass words because they've been into the game of religion their whole life and they studied how to justify things. So when you try to sell them certain things, they're gonna say words to convince you what they saying is real. Why? Because they done sat up there and they done manipulated you and game you with certain words, playing word games on you by telling you, well, some people is gifted at certain things. It's not that they don't want to do it. It's just that some people just have other stuff going on. They try to want to come help, but they just can't do it sometimes. It ain't the idea that they don't want to do it and they don't want to help. They use words like that is to manipulate, is to finesse the truth, and they're very good at doing that. But just because they say that, prove it doesn't make your points less valid of what you're saying. It's just that they throwing all kind of word games out there, just trying to throw them words like that because more than likely they're guilty. They don't want to do it. You see what I'm saying? They they are the ones that really don't want to do it. And you know how they'll say things like, well, you know, um, Well, everybody just not gifted. That's not my fear. They'll use words like to manipulate it by saying, if I'm a cancer doctor and this person over here is a caregiver, but I'm just a cancer doctor, that's not my professional. It's not that they don't want to help or they use words like that is to manipulate the truth. Those are good words, but what they do, they take certain words that sound very convincing like that to say, well, everybody is not made for certain things. Some people is not good at being a physician. Some people is not good at preaching. Some people is not good at talking. They have to get somebody that's good at talking. This person over here may be funny, where this person over here may not be comedy at all. So that's what you have to look at. It's not that you can't go around and say, well, get mad at everybody because this person telling you that he don't have a gift that you expected for him to have because that's not his field. So I disagree with you. Everybody just can't help because it ain't their gift. That's what they use to manipulate the truth. And I'm aware of that. But that has nothing to do with showing charity to somebody. You see what I'm saying? Even though I may not be gifted at being a cancer doctor or whatever, which is right, is correct. I'm not a cancer doctor. Me, I'm not a cancer doctor. No, I'm not a cancer doctor. But guess what? I believe in my heart that God can give me the wisdom on how to actually take care of that person to keep that person from dying. You see what I'm saying? There are other ways. Yeah, you may not be gifted in that way. But let me tell you something. If you really and really truly have love, and I'm speaking from experience, if you truly have genuine love for somebody, it ain't hard to please them. It's not hard at all. Let me get a text for that. I should be on my biblical channel talking, but since some people, let's watch it. I mean, let's do this here. When you really truly love somebody, it ain't hard to please them. If you in love with some man, if a woman is in love with a man, it ain't hard for that woman to go and do whatever she needs to do to please that man. It ain't hard. Think about it. When you in love with somebody, when you love hard, it ain't hard to go and do whatever you need to do for that person. It's not hard. If you love your father, it ain't hard to make sure your dad is good and he got his food if he's bed ready. If your father can't walk, if he can't feed himself, if he can't do none of that, it ain't hard to show love if it's naturally in you, in your instinct, you're gonna do it because that natural instinct gonna kick in. And that natural instinct gonna allow you is to be there all the time. It ain't hard. It's not hard at all. And when you love somebody, you ain't gonna have to sit there and think about it 4 minutes, 15 minutes. Of course you love them. You're gonna be able to say it answer it with no question at all. But people use what they not gifted at and use it as a justification, the reason why they can't and don't want to help you. They'll turn around and use that context. I'm not gifted at this here. I'm not gifted at that. I'm not gifted at this here. I'm not a cancer doctor. It doesn't necessarily mean I don't have love or whatever to do whatever I need to do. It's just that I don't know how to do that. I'm not good in that field. Fuck you for lying. They use that. They use those strong words. They use those words is to finesse the truth. In order to be able to debunk people when they speaking bullshit, you got to know the rules to their game. You got to point it out to them and let them know, hey, I already know what the fuck you're doing. You saying that is because the only reason why you would come to my house and you would want on time and thinking I'm cool with you and you cool with me, It's all because usually when people come to your house on time, let's say if they got a child, somebody that they want kept, especially women, when they got children that they want to drop off on you and want you to keep and all of that, they ass gonna be on time, especially if they go do what they want to do. They gonna get to their job on time. They gonna get to that beauty supply is to get their nails done on time, fingernails and hair and all that shit done. That's what they gonna do. They going to do all of that. And guess what's gonna happen? If it's something that they want and they cherish and they love, they're gonna be there for it on time. Everybody got something in this world that they like and you truly love. And if you love it so much, you'll be willing to spend your money on it. You see what I'm saying? So when people come to me with all these different words, trying to play fucking word games and all that kind of stuff, they'll say another thing. They'll say it like this here. Um, like if you say you just don't want to help. I didn't say I didn't want to help. I'm just saying I'm not saying that you're wrong in what you're saying. I didn't say that. That didn't come out of my mouth. I didn't say that. I just said that everybody is not gifted at the same thing. Get the fuck out of here with that fucking justification. Trying to use that justification and put it in the context of showing charity to your brother. Fuck you. That's how I tell him. You may be you're not a counsel doctor, just like me. I'm not a damn counsel doctor, but there are other means and methods of me doing if a person is down. I can do other things to keep that person from getting sick. All you got to do is feed them right, give them the proper food. You can avoid that person from getting cancer or high blood pressure by how you is on time and you can you can do that. You can help save a person in many ways. You see what I'm saying? So I don't want to sit up there. You don't sit up there and use your saying that you're not schooled in that field to make an excuse to say that this person can't be I can't do it. I want to do it, but I can't because I'm not gifted at this here. It's not that I don't want to do it. I'm not gifted. No, you may not can do it in that way, but there are other ways and other things you can do to be a help, which will be the same way, but in a different way. You may not have the knowledge on how to move counsel from somebody or whatever, but there are means and ways that I can show care for the person, make sure they eat right, make sure I do what I can to help get rid of it in another way or whatever, and that person can get healed. Well, there's a will, there's a way. With man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. Most people in the world are fake or fucking fake. Most people in the world are fucking fake. That's what I named the video. Most people in the world are fucking fake. And that's true. And my mother would say it in so many different words. She would say, yeah, they going around pretending and then coming here trying to buy you a little something just to try to make me think that they so good. We sit up there and be looking at our mothers and we be thinking that they crazy. Like, what the is she crazy? She said, okay, y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. Y'all gonna see. And sure enough, with I didn't know, I truly didn't know anything about really worshiping God until I got in this deeply, I know deeply more about how to worship and serve God. You can't serve God unless you truly serving others. You know, when you dealing with situations where a person that can't do nothing for themselves, you know what I'm saying? And the person is crying and stuff, and you're able to meet the person's need 24/7 around the clock or whatever. Because when people come and visit and see you, when they come and visit to see you or whatever, it ain't nothing is going to take the place of you monitoring that shit, of monitoring that 24/7. That's when you really can show that you care. You know, that's when you really show that you really can really care. People can come see you, and I'm not trying to shit on people that do the best that they can. And I understand people don't have time in certain ways and stuff like that to do what they need to do for you. But for the most part, I think most people, well, just because they come around, just like if I was down, if I was in a situation where I needed help or whatever, and I'm looking at the situation that's going on with my mother here and how or whatever, if they doing her like that, just imagine what they'll do to me or do to you. If you're a true friend and you really genuine from your heart, if you're watching this video, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah, people will come around and act like they give a damn, call your fucking name, call your damn name, Peter, Peter. Oh, I just wanted to make sure and know that you was all right. I was just calling to give you a call. Fuck you. That's what I really be wanting to say sometimes. I just want to know you was all right, and I ain't heard from you in a couple of days. Fuck you. That's how I see it. Yeah, just because a person come and see you, I tell you what, get it. My mother used to say, if you ever want to know who your real friend is, get the fuck down and out. You gonna find out real goddamn quick who is who and who ain't who. She said, if you don't believe me, just keep on. Okay, you gonna remember these words. You're gonna eat them very words like, oh, you know what you're talking about. Because my mother used to tell me all the time, son, you gonna see that person ain't no good. You gonna see what I'm talking about. I promise you that. Okay, all right then. You ain't gonna be able to say your mother said. You gonna say mama said that. You watch what I tell you, and I be damned. You know. So that's why I don't really deal with most people. In a way, I'm a people's person, and I love people, but I don't really deal with people like that. You know what I'm saying? People will come around. They'll visit you for a little while. They'll come and sit with you for a couple of minutes or whatever. They'll come around, but it ain't nothing like that person giving a damn with care. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no, just like people will say, it ain't no place like home. That's the truth and nothing but the whole truth, partner. It ain't no place, nowhere like your own home. Yeah. Let's read this text about when you love somebody, it ain't hard to please them. 1 John 5 and verse 3. The Bible says, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Grievous means they're not hard to do. When you love somebody, it ain't hard for you to satisfy them when you truly love somebody. Yep. When you truly love somebody, it ain't hard to satisfy that person. It's not. If you in love with a man Is it hard for you to satisfy that men, fella, guys? If you love this woman, if you really love the woman, or in love with a woman that you're with, you deeply love them, you burning in a passion for them. Is it hard to go and get candy, flowers, and gifts and stuff? No, it's not hard at all. Because that's why the Most High says, "For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments." Do you know part of keeping the commandment? You can't really truly serve God sitting in a pew every week, uh, listening to somebody speak a sermon, or whatever. That can be part of it because you're learning how to go out. The purpose of me sitting down and listening to somebody in a church building is I'm supposed to take that and learn and actually live by it and find ways is to put that into practice. You see what I'm saying? You're supposed to put that in practice, not just a good sermon that you just heard. You know what I'm saying? I see myself falling asleep, but I see some other people that's live. Yeah. So you got to think about those things. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got to. So that's how it works, man. Yeah, but I'm gonna be back, y'all. I'm gonna watch this video here. Yeah, but yeah, but I want y'all to think about those words though, because I'm gonna come back and do a part two. Um, my mother used to tell me all the time about certain people. She would tell me, son, you in the church with this woman, or you in the church with these people. I just pick up. They. I'm not saying they ain't good, but they just not genuine. And we sitting up there, and I'm sitting up there like, because sometimes the enemy, when we hear the truth, he'll have us thinking evil about those people that's trying to warn us. Or they just envious, they just jealous. You know? So you know what? I better go ahead and get up out of here because I done fell asleep sitting up here in this video and I don't want to do that. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna talk some more on this video, man. So I don't want to do that, mess the video up no further than it already is. All right, I'm gonna see y'all later. I'll be back. Look out for a part two.